and welcome to Trim the Fat, a podcast designed to help you with your physical, your spiritual, and your emotional journey. We want to touch on your mind, your body, and your soul. I'll be talking about some of our fears, our anxieties, and our traumas, which is the fat that keeps us stuck or stagnant in life. And one thing we're here to do is try to live our best life. My name is Rhonda Garner, Dr. Rhonda Garner, and I'm a mom, a pharmacist, and most of all, just a person trying to do better day by day. Today I have Dr. Leah Miller here from Three Friends Talk, and we'll be talking about fear of heights. That's our episode today. It's fear of heights. And Leah, can you tell us a little bit about yourself so people can know who you are?
I sure can. Hi, Dr. Rhonda.
Hey, Leah, Dr. Leah.
As Rhonda stated, my name's Leah Miller. I'm a native Memphian. I'm a mom, as you said, and pharmacist. And I'm a part of a podcast. Mm-hmm. So this is real fun to jump and be the guest on another podcast. But yes, I'm part of a podcast called Three Friends Talk. And we'll talk a little bit more about that later.
Yes, well, I'm glad to have you here. So I'm so glad to talk because that's one thing I like to do is talk. So it's two friends talking this time.
Exactly. And you know Three Friends Talk has reached out to Dr. Rhonda. So
yes, I want to come.
You coming? Don't worry.
I want to come.
Don't worry.
So one of the things I want to talk about today, or a few of the things, is like our fears and some things that, we want to get to a place where we're noticing and identifying what stops us from being our best.
Okay.
And so I know fear is one of them. Mm-hmm. So when Leah thinks about fear, things that keep us stuck or things that keep us from putting our best foot forward. Have you ever had to experience something like that where you said, okay, it really was my fear. It really wasn't anything anybody else did. Mm-hmm. It really was me. I had the fear and I didn't show up like I was supposed to.
Of course. I think we go through that we can do it from a grand scale to the smallest things in life. When you talk about being a mom, I guess that was one of the earliest things that in my adult life that pushed me into that. I got to get out of that box. Mm-hmm. I got to learn how to do things and not even worry about fear, because now you have a whole nother life,
a whole nother person
that you're responsible for. It's not just you anymore. And I think because I became a mom in the younger, part of my adult life. Mm-hmm. So imagine coming out of pharmacy school and you're trying to find your own. You got this career, it sounds great, everything's going swell. And then you find out you have a baby on the way. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of just propelled me into not even having time to be fearful, because I just had to put myself out there. So like I said, that happening to me is such a young part of my adult life has triggered me further on to, if I was able to do that,
I can do anything.
I can do a lot of things.
I overcame that, and I'm a good mom. But like they say this cliche thing, we don't get an instruction manual.
Oh, no.
But we have to create our own.
Oh, yes.
And we have to see what works and what doesn't work. So You talked about how some people, you had your child right out of pharmacy school. There's some people they have to put on those big girl panties at different ages. Even I had my daughter when I was 34. Mm-hmm. So I kept I was putting it off, and then I ended up getting married, and we were like, okay, I'm not gonna have a kid yet because I want to enjoy my married life.
Right.
I want to do this, but you'll keep so you still have some type of fear in any aspect. It don't matter where you are in life, in certain ages, in your adult life.
And you learn that, the plan that you have.
It's not.
Why do we do that?
Why do we do that?
I don't know, because it's never gonna.
Because we're not in control.
We're never in control, and it's never gonna go according to probably the way that we in our minds see it. But it's on us to work it out and to have that faith that, even though it's not in the sequence that I thought it was gonna be in, even though it's not exactly how I pictured it, I can still get through it.
And yeah, I can and I will. So we have to go ahead and say I will, because this is what's mine now. This is for me to own.
Basically.
So yeah, and I like how you said, okay, it was going to being a mom and you weren't expecting that, because that was something that you weren't expecting. But you did
I wanted it, of course. I wanted to be a mom. Like I said, I've got this career. I had this schedule. I was working 4 days a week. Had my weekends off. I had everything was planned. I'm going, I'll be traveling this weekend. I'll be doing this.
Not in control. And it's what was meant for you, because it actually structured you into doing other things that you probably would have been fearful to do.
It's so crazy the way that you just said that. I think about it so often. Like, if I would have gone the route that I was planning to go on, I don't think I would be where I am today. I know I wouldn't be where I am today. So to have, and my son's name is Jalen. Hey, baby.
Hey, Jalen.
To have Jalen when I did, I think it was very much planned. It was very much meant to be.
I know.
It was in my plan.
I get it. It. And we have to be conscious of that, though, sometimes. Even, with certain small things, big things in life, because it's like, what is my lesson from this? Or what am I supposed to be taking away from this?
Right.
What is this going to make me stronger or a better person to fulfill what my real purpose is? Or is my purpose to be a great mom so that Jalen can be great and do what he's supposed to do? You know what I mean? So sometimes we got to think outside of that. So when you say it wasn't structured that way, but you're happy. I see you now smiling and everything. And he's your only child?
He's my only child, yes, ma'am.
And right now he's going to college?
Oh, my goodness, yes. He is still in the city. He's still in Memphis. So, and that to me is also a blessing, because I was already preparing myself and, he's going away and what am I going to do? Because again, like I said, my whole adult life, I graduated at 23. I got pregnant at 24. So literally, I'm just now like in this adult phase. My whole adult phase has been a mom, and starting a career and buying a house and just doing all the things that you want to do. But he's always been in place. So now I'm like, oh my God, I got to let him go.
Yeah.
You
had a fear of letting him go.
Look, here comes another fear. Yeah. So that kind of leads into this transition phase that I'm in now.
Okay. Well, something you said that I hope you know and you realize. You said, okay, I bought a house, I got a career, I did this. There's so many young women now and in the past when I was growing up oh my God, I'm having a baby. Oh, I can't do the things that I really was going to set out to do now because of the baby. I commend you, because it's so many. You would think that, that would give them the oomph or the fire up on them and say, okay, let me go and let me try to do better. Oh, yeah. But sometimes it defeats, it overcomes.
It was very overcoming.
And it could have happened to any of us.
Exactly.
So I'm proud of you to say, I did these things, even though it was outside of the way I...
And then you also have the people on the outside that say, oh, well, you did all this, you did so well, and now you got a baby.
Ooh. Bye.
I literally had someone at church walk up to me and say, you went to school and became a doctor, and now this. And I was like, now what? Like, I was literally confused. Yeah. Like, what does that mean? Why would you take that blessing, even though it may not have been in the steps that, in our minds or the way society runs, or with that, it's written or whatever. It's my blessing.
It is.
It's for me.
It is.
And so I just did that, girl.
That's okay. That's all right. I'm so happy that you said that. So yeah, it's people. People will hurt you. People will despise you. People will want to. They want the things that you have, or they want to. But they don't want to say it out loud. Right. So it'll be a projection. Yeah. So that's why one person who was on the previous podcast, Patrice, was here, and she talked about how she let go of social media. She let go of that because she won't only think about what she thinks about, because she had to tune it out. Right. So I know for me, that was a big thing. So I know for you, what's some things that you do to overcome? If you feel that trigger, you see that it's something it's a trigger, something. What do you do to overcome the fears that you know that you need to overcome?
Right.
But we are so bad to ourselves sometimes.
We are.
We just say,
we can be our own worst enemy at times. And like I said, one, I guess the best thing that did happen to me in my younger life was having a child to propel me to do better. What I have to do when I see something kind of creeping in, holding me back or whatever, look at my goals, look at my why. He's my why. He's always been my why. There's been certain things that I can say, okay, I don't have to do this today. I'm gonna still do it. It might not be in the time frame that I had put forth to do it. Okay, let's double the time frame. Okay. Does that really hurt me that much?
Being real.
Don't say no or stop it, but just give yourself more time. So for me, it's always been give myself more time. Don't stop what you're doing. You can do it. You just have to do it in a different space and a different time. I think that's the biggest thing that has helped me is to keep going and just allow myself the space.
Yeah.
To, okay, it's not going to work out when I thought it was going to work out.
Yeah. So it seem easy when people say, okay, just keep, but I like how you say it, because all of us need something to say, okay, I've been doing stuff the same way for so long. I need something else because I can't keep doing this way or I'm going to be the same. So if we say, we're used to people pleasing sometimes. So I think that saying no or saying I can't do it right now sometimes feel like we're doing the wrong thing.
Right. No.
And, yeah. No. So one thing.
And be gracious to yourself. Like,
yes.
Understand how great you're doing. Sometimes we don't just say, I'm doing a good job.
Oh, yeah. I try to.
I'm really doing a good job.
We do have to do that because I tell everybody else, like, oh, you're doing great, but then we have to do this ourselves.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah, we got to say, okay, think about it. You're doing good. Don't beat yourself up. Just because you had one loss don't mean all the 15, 20 wins you had don't count anymore.
And then a lot of times, of course, I'm an only child, and all I saw was the way my household was. And now I have this child. So, okay, my household is supposed to be like this. No, it's not.
It's not.
No.
It's not.
I have to have my own household. I have to do things the way that works best for us. And, thank God my parents never held me to, you have to do it this way. They allowed me that space to figure out how to do it best for me and my son.
See, that's a blessing.
And that's another thing, the fear of not keeping up with the way things were for a certain situation or a certain person. No, ma'am.
No, and we all got these different experiences because I can visualize. I can see things when people are saying I can like make a story. So I see it, and sometimes I think like, okay, I know my story is much different than your story,
right?
But we still end up in the same place.
Exactly.
But I can learn so much from your
right,
and you just being real about where you come from and where you've been. Because I know for me, I knew my fear was I didn't want to be in this position I was in. So it's kind of flipped. Gotcha. I didn't want to be staying where I grew up because I was like, okay, I gotta get out of it. So my fear to succeed, my fear led to me trying my best to succeed. And we all got these different, but we still say, okay, we got some common interests, we got some common things, but we have similar stories with a different background. It's crazy.
It is.
So, but no, here's another thing that happens to us. I'm not going to just say as women, but just as people that's trying, because fear becomes, it paralyzes us. And then not knowing that that's what's stopping you so much, then you just, in life, you don't reach your full potential. Have you ever, or do you have any regrets about some things where it was just fear that you didn't do that thing?
There are a few things. I think probably the one thing, and I don't know, because I still got life to live. But because of, the situation like with my son, I didn't feel the need to try and date or find someone or find this perfect person for him because I tried. I'll say that I did try. I tried to balance this new motherhood. I tried to balance this new career. And I tried to balance a relationship. And it didn't work. So then it was just like, okay, I'm just focusing on my child, focusing on nothing else. So I guess I could say one thing. really regret it, but there was a fear of bringing the wrong person into his life. And, I already put him in a situation where he's a single mother. I don't like to say I put him in a situation, but he's in a situation with, a single mother, a single parent. I don't want to mess that up anymore.
Yes.
So
I understand.
So I always kind of pushed away anything where it was like, okay, do you want to try another relationship? Do you want to do this? And so
it's I'm not gonna say it's nice to hear, but I understand what you're saying because I have a daughter. I'm divorced, so. Same type of thought process. It's like, okay, I want to be careful of who I put in our safe space.
Right.
Because I felt like I made it unsafe before by not having her have the, 2-parent household. And now it's just me and her when it's us. So how do we navigate this dating thing? Because, I feel like I'm a catch. You know what I'm saying? I know you felt like you was a catch.
Right.
So it's like, okay, but then you think about it, it's like, okay, I'm going to risk putting somebody that might not work out around. So it's like a look, you walk that.
You have that fear, and then, okay, we're getting older. So now I'm like, oh gosh, am I out of the marriage range? Where am I now? So now, you're raising your child, you're still going through that phase. Now I feel like I've raised my child to this point. Of course, he's going to always be my child. But like I said, I'm transitioning. So, there's a fear of what do I do next? Can I go ahead and start dating? Do I go ahead and start dating?
That's a whole nother episode. That's a whole nother episode.
Look, I'll come back.
I know. Yeah, I want you back. So I love that. Yeah, listen, this is the thing. Because you said we're getting older. I think that it's so many of us women that we try to fill up our lives with other things because we have that fear of, okay, if I do start dating, am I going to waste my time with this person?
Right.
Or are they going to hurt me?
Right.
Or are they out to get me? Do they have an agenda? We could go on a list of...
Our time is so precious.
My time is one of the most valuable things.
It's so precious. So do I really want someone in this space that might not work out? Do I take that chance? So that's definitely my fear. Or has been my fear. And it's still a fear. That is a fear. It's like, how do I navigate this whole, what's next for me as far as dating and potential and love?
And love. Listen, we can talk about it because you get there, you get there and you feel it, and you give yourself a chance. You take the risk, and it ends up being somebody is great. Then you end up saying, okay, now I'm fearful that this won't work or this won't last what you see in your head.
Yeah. Or it works for me and you, but once we bring the child in.
How's that gonna look?
Yeah.
It's a lot. But here we go. We got to take one thing at a time and we got to accept, like you said, accept our wins. What are we doing great? Right. And then know that we deserve.
Right.
So I know a lot of moms. That just put that, and is it right or wrong? We put our all into the child and making sure that that's covered. Right. But then we don't leave nothing else left for us. Yeah. So, but that's a hard place to be. Like, okay, when you decide, okay, how am I doing myself a disservice by just saying, because they're going to grow up and then I'm not doing some of the things I could have been doing at this time. Right. So how do we balance it? Yeah.
Yeah. So that's when I say I'm in that transition phase. It's the letting go of being that, all-time mom. And letting him grow up some too. Yeah. Of course, he's got to have his own wins, his own failures and everything. And he's got to be okay with that. And I've got to be okay with that.
Yeah, but it's beautiful because you're going to see him growing up. You're going to see him tackle things that you instilled. Yeah. And learn how to, learn how to be in life and live his best life. And you're going to say, okay, I did that.
I know.
I did that. It's a beautiful thing. Mm-hmm. Okay, so 3 Friends Talk.
Yeah.
So I know you reached out to me. I've watched it. I love it. Tell us about when it comes on. What's the premise or foundation? How y'all came about and what you all do.
So 3 Friends Talk. It is 3 friends. We are 3 pharmacist friends we met in pharmacy school at Xavier in New Orleans. If you talk to them, we all have a different story of how the podcast came about. We took some time to travel, and one person says that she agreed to go on the trip if we recorded a podcast episode. I don't recall that. I recall planning the trip. And we got there, and I felt like she bamboozled us to record this podcast. Oh, why are we doing a podcast and we're on a trip?
Yeah.
So we started it, with the premise of with 3 pharmacists. We have kind of, careers that aren't traditional in pharmacy.
Okay.
Being a specialty pharmacist, not at a chain Walgreens or a hospital pharmacy. One of the other young ladies, she works in industry, and then we have one that's a consultant. So one's not your typical pharmacist. Okay. I work from home. When I say I work from home, people are like, what?
Yeah, how you help? How you doing medicine?
So we literally sat down. We were going to record an episode. And it ended up, we recorded, I think, 3 or 4 episodes that day. And we did one for each pharmacist. And then we did one about the trip that we were on. And we just started flowing from there. I think because we are friends and we gelled and we were able to have these, conversations, and it just felt normal. So after that, we started bringing a guest in. We typically bring someone in who's in healthcare. Of course, we love to have pharmacists on the show. But we love to showcase people who have non-traditional roles or have, they are entrepreneurs or have a business that has nothing to do with their 9 to 5. So that's how 3 Friends Talk started. We had the podcast. That was 2019, 2020. So, of course, we're going to our COVID era. We're doing this podcast, and then we get over the, past the hump of the stay at home and everything. We're like, we want to do something more than the podcast. Can we do a live event? Yeah. So we had our first live event, and, we're scared. There's still this COVID atmosphere. It ended up being wonderful.
Yeah, I heard about this event.
It was the first one was in Dallas. So we said, okay, we got one pharmacist in Dallas. We have one in Atlanta. Let's do an event in Atlanta. So we did another event in Atlanta. Again, we showcase, someone in the healthcare industry. It doesn't even have to be healthcare. It could be someone, like I said, that has that touches people in a way
to build them up.
Right. Okay. Exactly. So we do this in an event in Atlanta. It's great again. Okay, I'm in Memphis. Let's do another event. I think that's when I reached out to you because I, wanted you to be there, but you had a conflict in your schedule. So we do the event in Memphis. It's great again. So now we're kind of like, okay, what do we do past podcasts and live events now? So that's the stage that we're in now is, just evolving as a brand. We go on hiatus. So we're still on our hiatus. We should be starting back up probably in the next month. But you can find 3 Friends Talk. You can follow us on social media at the number 3 Friends Talk. It's all one word. But we typically record on Wednesdays. We were doing every other Wednesday on Facebook and YouTube. Okay. So, that might change every now and then. It might be once a month, but we're at twice a month. We were at every other week.
So we could probably just we could collaborate and do something like that. Have you back on, have us all do some duo. And I am coming to an event the next time y'all plan it and be on the show. I
can't wait.
So I want to make sure that the people saw that. So 3 Friends Talk, that's on Instagram and Facebook?
Instagram, that's the number 3 Friends Talk. It's all one word. Facebook, Instagram. Like I said, YouTube, we go live on Facebook and Facebook and YouTube.
Before we go, last thing for you for self-care.
Yes, ma'am. Oh, we love self-care.
Self-care for you though, for Leah. When you talk about self-care, Leah's care. What does that look like for you? What does that mean for you? How do you take care of Leah?
Gosh, and we ask this on every episode. Isn't it crazy? You're gonna sit here and ask me. Like I said, I'm in this transition phase now, and I think spontaneity is one thing that kind of drives me. Makes you less fearful too. So yeah, I planned a trip last week. I'm going on a trip next week.
Oh, that is spontaneous now. That is good.
So I love to travel. I love spa treatments. Okay. like I said, I'm an only child. I love my space. I love being in my space. I love just to be quiet sometimes. I don't have to talk to anybody. I could go all day and not talk to anybody.
My brother's like that.
Really? Yeah. I could just be in my own space. But of course, hanging out with friends. I dabble in libations.
Yes.
I have I have a bartending side business. I have a travel side.
Okay, the bartender.
Don't get
bartending. Because I tasted a few drinks you made. But we want to be.
I dabble in everything.
Yeah. So I think we all got some other things we do. But thank you, Leah, for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you guys for listening to Trim the Fat today. And we hope that you subscribe.
Yes.
Look at 3 Friends Talk. And follow us also on Instagram at trim_fat on Instagram.